All right, how's everybody feeling today? Pretty good? Awesome. That's what I like to hear. I'm Mac. I'll be your pilot today. It looks like we have Valentina, Serenella, Andrea, Ivan, Marco, and Alessandra. Awesome. We're off to a great start. We have the right people in here. I love it when that happens. Did everybody get the safety briefing today? Yes, very good. We also have safety briefing cards in here. You guys are welcome to take a look at those at any point during the flight. Goes over the same stuff you heard in the office, right? Never go near the tail. Always wear your seatbelt. No smoking. There's Aloha bags in here if you're not feeling well. Survival equipment's under the back seat. A fire extinguisher's up here on my right-hand side. And please do not interfere with the flight controls. In addition, so we're going to have to make sure the strap doesn't get down here. Can't get around my levers. In addition to that, we do have overhead vents. You guys can adjust these throughout the flight until you're comfortable. There's a camera up here as well. You can smile and wave at that all you want. That'll be recording our entire flight around the island of Kauai today. And finally, I'm going to be out at the Hui Tower over here for the first few minutes of the flight until I'm clear out of the airspace. Then I'll be telling you guys what I know about the island, okay? Any questions before we get going? All right, let's go have some fun.
Weight and just depression, but he was real depressed. I was on the same, and you know that too. Because he did come back. He told me today, because don't be scared. I still believe that if he called me, he'd be alive. He died of a broken heart, bro. How would he feel? Would his smile be content and cry? Cry for the lost, cry for the land that was taken away, and then yet you'll find Hawaii.
All right, how's everybody feeling? Pretty good? Awesome. Your right-hand side down there, we have the Hula River. You guys might recognize that from the movie Indiana Jones, The Raiders of the Lost Ark. So they filmed the opening scene of that movie where Indy escapes in the boat plane. Also have Kipukai down here on our left, that beautiful white sand beach. Seen in movies like The Descendants, 6 Days, 7 Nights, Hook, Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic World. All the beaches in the state of Hawaii are public beaches. All of the land up Kipukai down there is owned by the Waterhouse family. If you guys are interested in checking out that beach, you're going to need to swim or take a boat. Been seeing movies like The Descendants, 6 Days, 7 Nights, Hook, Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic World. Also have the Haupu Ridgeline down here on our left. This long ridgeline we're flying along. It's part of the original volcanic activity that created the island of Kauai 5 million years ago. 5 million years ago, the island of Kauai was where the big island is today. Ridgeline's also been seen in the movie Avatar, the second highest grossing film of all time.
I feel free now. You know, it's just confined, like, you know. My mom was born in, you know, my dad. Yeah. Well, my dad was, he worked for the Navy.
Whitetown Reservoir down there on your left as well. That's the largest reservoir in the state. Developed in the 1850s to support the sugar plantations. Sugar was huge in the 1800s. Everything from the foothills, the mountains, down to the beaches was covered in sugarcane. Like a lot of things today, that sugar's been outsourced to other locations where it's a lot cheaper to grow and export. The last major sugar plantation on the island of Kauai actually closed down in 2009. Tree tunnel down here below us with some cars driving through it. If you've been to or from the south side of the island since you've been here, probably driven through the tree tunnel at some point. Made up of over 500 eucalyptus trees that were planted over 100 years ago. Actually planted by a pineapple parent by the name of McBride as a gift to give back to the community of Kauai.
I feel free now. You know, it's just confined, like, you know. My mom was born in, you know, my dad was born here. Well, my dad was, he worked for, done in, PWC, Public Works, down Pearl Harbor. Well, model was tight there. It was tight. My papa was tight. My papa died when he was almost 10, I think. He was 10 years old. But every once in a while, he come back, you know, for that trip. Just like a couple of weeks ago, I was sleeping at my place. And then Mamata and Auntie Mina came.
Hey, in just a moment here, we're going to hop over the Kihili Mountain Ridgeline and drop on into Anapepe Valley on the other side. On the right-hand side of Anapepe, we're going to take a look at a beautiful 280-foot tall waterfall known as Mana Vaiapuna. It's also commonly referred to as Jurassic Falls. This will be the waterfall you guys have seen in the first Jurassic Park film.
He loved music, bro. He had a massive heart attack. The weight and just the. I was on the same court. And you know that too. That's why he came back and told me that, hey, because he did come back. He told me that, hey, because, you know, don't be scared. These people here for help you. And it's kind of like telling me if he had them, he would still be here. I still believe that if he called me, he'd be alive.
And on the right-hand side down here, the magical Jurassic Falls.
For you and I, hene hene koaka,
And you may have also noticed a lot of petrified-looking trees down here in Anapepe. Dead trees. That's from Hurricane Aniki. That swept over the island of Kauai in 1992. Missed every other island in the Hawaiian chain. Back the island was without power and running water for 3 whole months after the hurricane hit. Nobody could go to work. Everybody was stuck grilling on the beach. And bathing in the river.
For you and I, our eyes have met, our lips not yet. While I'm up on the volcano, I'm gonna get you yet.
And we're working our way into Waimea Canyon here. Waimea Canyon is commonly referred to as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. 14 miles long, 1 mile wide, 3,600 feet deep. Also see a lot of red dirt and clay on top of the canyon. That is cinder from the volcano that it spewed into the air. It's a very high iron oxide content, gives it that red rust color. Waimea actually means fresh red water in Hawaiian. The rainwater washes the red sediment down into the rivers and streams at the bottom of the canyon and out to the ocean through Waimea town via the Waimea River. It actually happens to be one of the longest rivers in the state, just over 12 miles long.
There's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine no more countries not very hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion. People living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday when the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or harm. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
And we're back into the northwest end of the canyon here. We'll get a look at the beautiful 800-foot tall Waipo'o Falls down on our right.
When the world you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Hey, we've already seen Waipo'o if you've driven up the canyon road to the Waimea Canyon Lookout. Actually, hike right up to the top of the falls there as well. It's about a 2-hour hike.
There's one.
As we climb on out of the canyon here, you might catch a glimpse of some wildlife running along the canyon walls. Very small population of deer on the island, a decent population of goat, and a very large population of wild pig. Actually, twice as many wild pigs as our people on the island of Kauai, over 100,000 wild pigs. And we're zipping over the top of Kokei State Park here as we work our way out to the Napali Coast. In addition to having cabins, campgrounds up here in Kokei, there's 19 different hiking trails. There's even a trout pond down there where you can do some trout fishing. Here on our left, we have these big white domes at the Pacific Missile Range and Radar Facility. One of the most advanced missile and radar installations on the planet, maintained by the Air Force, Navy, and NASA. And we're starting on the Poly Coast section of the tour here. First valley we're going to take a look at is Nu'ulo'olo. Actually, where the Polynesians first landed when they arrived in the Hawaiian Islands. 800 to 1000 AD. Honorable Beach down there on the right, a spectacular secluded beach. That's where they did some filming for the movie Kong, the King Kong remake, and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. In fact, Johnny Depp walked right to the Honorable Arch down there at Honorable Beach during the filming of that Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Take this one, I think this one is good. Yeehaw.
And back here we have Kalalau Valley. It's the largest valley on the Napali coast. It's also once home to the largest population of native Hawaiians in a single valley. Over 5,000 native Hawaiians once lived back in Kalalau here one time. Now only a group of about 50 hairy naked hippies live back here. There we have the Kalalau Trail down here on your right. If you look closely, you might see some people hiking it. I know I see people hiking that thing way more often than I expect to. The trail will start to veer off to the left-hand side up here as it continues to zig and zag up the coastline for 12 miles. Until it reaches its starting point at Ke'e Beach where the road ends on the North Shore. You have also noticed a lot of sea caves down here along the Napali. The waves on this side of the island get up to 40-50 feet, specifically in the winter. Those waves erode away and undercut the coastline, creating the sea caves. Eventually, those caves cannot support the weight of the structure above them, and they're forced to landslide into the water. It's one of the reasons that Napali maintains its relatively vertical coastline. It's also one of the reasons they succeeded in building a road down the Napali. It's one of the fastest changing coastlines in the world. Ke'e Beach up here on our right. It's a great spot for swimming and snorkeling. It's nice and protected by the reef. Also happens to be one of my favorite spots to catch a sunset on the island. You can sit right in the water on the corner of Ke'e down there. Watch it set alongside the Napali. It's incredible. Ke'e is located right at the end of the road on the North Shore. It's also where the Hanakapiai and the Kalalau Trail hikes both begin. And Tunnels Reef down here on the right, this magnificent section of reef. Scuba divers love exploring the maze of tunnels under the reef created by the lava tubes. It's also the home of some expert level surfing in the winter. The waves down here at Tunnels get up to 40-50 feet as well. And for whatever reason, people are crazy enough to surf them.
Amen.
And you can take a nice look back down Lanapali here. You can also look left into Limahuli Valley. That's where Limahuli Botanical Gardens are located. And then down there behind tunnels as well, that series of multi-million-dollar homes along the coastline. Home to people like Pierce Brosnan, Julia Roberts, Ben Stiller. And we have Hanalei Bay straight ahead up there. It's a picturesque half-moon crescent-shaped, largest bay on Kauai. You might recognize it from the movie The Descendants with George Clooney. St. Regis Resort up there on the corner of the bay, town of Princeville by the St. Regis. Further east on the coastline by Princeville is Kilauea. The little island out there next to the coastline is Kilauea Point. The northernmost point of the Principal Hawaiian Islands, a bird sanctuary as well. It is just offshore from the Kilauea Lighthouse over there. And we have a whole lot of taro fields, taro patches all around Hanalei Town down there on the left. When the Polynesians first came to the Hawaiian Islands, there's no starch source like rice or potatoes in the islands, so they brought that taro with them. They plant it, cook it, mash it up into poi, and that is the purple paste you can get at the luau's. Kind of an acquired taste. Right hand side here we have Mount Namalakama. This is the second tallest mountain on the island of Kauai. However, it's only about 3,000 feet tall from the tip down to sea level. Because of that 1,000-foot tall waterfall in the face of it there. On some clear, calm summer days, you can paddleboard around in Hanalei Bay and watch that waterfall pump down the front of Namalakama. It's a pretty surreal experience. working our way into Honolulu Valley here with the Honolulu River pumping down the middle of it. Pacoa Falls up there straight ahead. This is the west side of the island. The north side, meaning it gets about 200 inches of rain a year on average over here. Put that into perspective, you only need about 100 inches of rain a year to be classified as a rainforest. Because of all the rain that this side of the island's getting on, there's a lot of waterfalls pumping down the sides of it. The exact number does vary day to day with the rain. Over some of the waterfalls back here in Honolulu do run year round. Being wall down here on your right. That's a spring-fed waterfall. Pumps right outside of the wall down there as opposed to the top of the ridge line. I put a head on there on the left. That's one of my favorite waterfalls in the island. Spits right out of the top of the ridge over there like a shower with the kind of water pressure I've always wanted.
This is the story of a tragic event that happened in the olden days, long time ago. This song is for the little, if not the last, Hawaiian. Hawaii. This one's for Minoli, those people. Humihana, Ibarayes.
At the coming of the wind, Ola'ama.
And we're coming around the corner here, working our way into the crater of Mount Waialeale. This is the crater of the volcano that originally created the island of Kauai 5 million years ago. It's about 5,000 feet tall, tallest point on the island. Relatively small compared to the points on the big island of Maui. It is, however, one of the wettest spots on Earth. It gets over 400 inches of rain a year on average in here, with highs of over 700. Usually covered in cloud, like you see it right now.
And your fragrance speaks to me.
Actually, a hiking trail you guys can do back in here as well, called the Blue Hole Hike. It'll only take you about 8 to 10 hours round trip. Either way, now you can tell all your friends you've been in the crater of a volcano. It's up to you if you want to tell them it was extinct or not, right? No active volcanoes on the island of Kauai. There are a couple active ones on the Big Island, though, and a dormant one on Maui.
Feel your touch, Ola'ama.
Out there along the eastern coastline, you can see the Sleeping Giant Ridge. Use your imagination a whole lot. It might look like a sleeping giant from this angle. Also a pretty popular hiking spot over there in the Wailu'a area. About a 15-minute hike or so to the top of the Sleeping Giant. On the right-hand side here, we have this big hill in the middle of the basin. That's actually the Kilahana crater. It's a crater from the most recent volcanic eruption on the island of Kauai. It erupted only 150,000 years ago back in the Lohui Basin over there. Hey, worked our way back into Lihue airspace here. Going to be giving a lot of my attention to Lihue Tower over the course of the next several minutes as we come into land. All you guys have to do is sit back and relax. When it's safe to do so, the ground crew will approach and escort you out of the aircraft. I do want to thank you guys for coming along today. You've been great company, great passengers. I always appreciate that. If you do still have questions about the flight, once I have the aircraft on the ground, I want you to feel free to go ahead and ask me. All right, you guys are welcome to take off your headsets and your seatbelts.